Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. I am about to jump on here probably another hour or so and do a live. I'm going to fix one of the main boards on my Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. I've already got it set up on the table. I'm going to basically set up the camera, go live, let you guys watch while I replace the main board, and then save the video. I don't really have a lot of time to editing videos right now, so I'm trying to play catch up with some of the orders I have here. So I really don't have a lot of time to edit videos, so I'm just going to try to repair the printer on a live, and hopefully you guys can just kind of fast forward through the stuff you don't want to see, if you do want to watch it later. The other thing I wanted to kind of mention, I've posted a couple videos on the Creality K2 Plus. Many of you guys know already, been following me long enough to know I buy everything. Everything I have here is purchased on my own dime with my own money, so I'm a regular user. This isn't given to me. So when I tell you it's a non-biased review, it is a legit non-biased review. It's not a non-biased review that's biased because you got it for free. Sorry, I just hate when people say it's unbiased and you got something for free. It's a little bit... Anyway. So that being said, when I come to you guys and I tell you I have issues, it's as an end user wanting my printer to work out of the box. And I know that's a long stretch, but that's what customers are wanting. That's what I want. That's what other customers are wanting. That's what I see on all of the groups and all of the forums and all the discords. Everybody wants a printer out of the box that works, that they don't have to fuss with. So that's what I set the bar with every printer when I pull it out of the box. That's what I do. I know it's not realistic because I've been doing this long enough. That's not realistic. Creality has done a good job with the K2 Plus. This is not an official review. They've done a good job. You know, I had every other print coming off failed, which was kind of pissing me off because, you know, like I said, for a printer out of the box, that's one of the worst out of the box experiences so far for a Core XY printer, up there with my Soval SV08s. So out of the box experience, not great. If I could save you guys some headache, it would be big brim widths. The bed on these things, and I've noticed Creality is pushing for people to use glue. I don't use glue on any of my stuff because I print with PLA and PETG, and I've never had to use glue. If I have to use glue, then I may try to find another flex plate from another manufacturer, because I'm not going to use glue. I'm sorry, I'm not using glue. I don't want to clean up a mess of glue. Some of you guys use glue and that's great, but I use soap and water, and that works perfect for all of my build plates. So if I have to use glue on this one, then they've done something stupid with their build plate. Just me being fussy. But that being said, I just pulled an amazing print off that printer. I mean, a phenomenal print. And I want to kind of address something else with 3D printing in general. This is going to be a general rule. Slow down your prints. If you have a crappy print, slow it down. I mean, you know, my prints aren't crappy, but every time I slow it down just a little bit more, it gets a little bit prettier. I mean, I'm just saying, slow down your jerk settings, your acceleration settings. Just slow them down a little bit. You know, these things are designed mechanically to go a certain speed. I mean, they'll advertise 600, 500, whatever. I saw one the other day was 1200, and it was like, come on. They mechanically can go that fast. If you want this quality of print, you're not printing that fast, because a lot of times you got a lot of the shaking and a lot of the vibrations and stability issues. You know, if you can strengthen the stability of that printer, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day that they used a bungee strap, or not a bungee, but an actual like ratchet strap, like a toe strap, and strapped their 3D printer to their workbench, and then bolted their workbench to their wall, just to strengthen the rigidity of their printer so it wouldn't vibrate and have all the ghosting you get. So if you're seeing that, if you're seeing a lot of ghosting, if you're seeing a lot of defects, just slow it down. This could be improved upon. You can still see a little bit. You know, honestly, that could be the model. I've had that happen a lot lately. From what I gather with modeling, if the model has higher detail, it's a bigger download. It takes a lot more memory, basically. So oftentimes modelers will cut a corner by making the model less quality so that they don't have such a big file for you to download. It doesn't, you know, when you have a printer that prints amazing, it means I'm going to print amazing crap because your model is crap. So you have to start with a good quality model, guys. So that could also be something driving you nuts. I've had that happen. I had a model that I was trying to print for a customer a long time ago, and I learned this lesson the hard way. I printed it on 5 different printers, and it looked like shit on 5 different printers, and I couldn't understand why. And then I went back to the model and really looked at it hard, and everything I was seeing was the actual model, the low quality of the model being printed into every single print. So I was actually printing exactly what the printer was seeing from the model. So none of the printers, and I was driving myself nuts thinking all these printers were failing. It was the filament, it was, you know, this or that, and it turned out to be a low quality model. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, if you're modeling, making a low quality model today is a poor idea, because I'm never going to buy from you again if I buy a model and your model is low quality. Because if I print a high-end print and your low quality model looks like shit and makes my print look like shit, I won't buy from you again. So just keep that in mind, modelers. If you're modeling, you know, I would rather spend a half a day downloading your file than getting low quality. So this is what you're wanting to achieve, guys. Slow down your prints, slow down your Drick settings to get something like this. It is possible with the Creality K2 Plus. You know, I went through, like I said, the Z offset. I checked my bed. So the flex plate. The very next thing, if you know your Z offset's good, grab your flex plate, wash it with soap and water. I know a lot of people will, like I said, Creality even is promoting using glue. Don't use glue if you don't have to. It's just a mess. Don't use rubbing alcohol. There's the materials used to coat these flex plates. They don't do well with rubbing alcohol. So rubbing alcohol was probably great when you had glue on glass back in the day, but we're not using glass as much these days. Some people still are, but oftentimes, yeah, rubbing alcohol is not as important these days as just soap and water. So wash it like you do a dish, soap and water, put it back on here, let it dry, run your print. So I went through all those steps, recalibrated everything. Still had an issue. I went and checked. Combing was turned off. My retraction settings were fine. So I've kind of gone through all of the different things, and then I made my brim width like 10 or 12 or something ridiculous. And I say ridiculous because I don't print a brim width like that on a Core XY printer. None of my Core XY printers, I think, have a brim bigger than 5. 5's pretty big on a Core XY printer. Just because the bed's not moving like crazy, you know, so you don't really need a crazy brim width. But for whatever reason, maybe because I'm not using glue, I'm using a much bigger brim width on this printer, on the Creality K2 Plus. But it's working, so it's working. Past that, between slowing it down and using a bigger brim, that seems to be the only 2 things that have solved my issues with keeping the print stuck to the bed. This guy failed probably 5 times, not on the Creality. It failed twice on, sorry, I printed it 5 times. It failed twice on the Sovol SV08 and twice on the Creality K2 Plus before I got a solid print off the Creality K2 Plus. So yeah, it has the ability to print. It's just once you figure out why you're having issues, that's 3D printing, guys. You know, sometimes it's the way you have it on the bed. Sometimes it's, you know, the way you have it oriented. Sometimes it's the bed. For me, this printed better when I had it this way versus when I had it this way. I don't know why. No idea why. But it did. So maybe there's more material versus this side where there's points. It's probably what it was. I think I tried to print it like this at one point. But anyway, that's the update with the Creality K2 Plus. I'll post a couple videos of the time lapses. I don't have any time lapses of the failures. Right now I have no spaghetti failure or anything like that yet. my Chitty Q1 Pro in the garage, I've had 2 spaghetti failures, and I walked out there the other day and it was just a big old spaghetti mess. It was hilarious. I wish I would have had that on video. I did have an issue with one of my Chitty X-Max 3s recently. The bed just kind of went wonky as far as the heater element on it. So I'm working with Chitty right now to get that fixed. But so anyway, so stay tuned. I'm going to post this video to try to get you guys to watch the live that I'm going to be doing here in a few minutes. I just need to drink my coffee. And maybe start some prints. It might take me longer than an hour. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys.